Hi, we're Ailey and Daniel for Design Break, and today we're going to go through a checklist of things that your website should be doing from a technical and legal standpoint.
So this video might seem like the boring one in the series, but it's vitally important. And that's checking the usability on the site, the technical considerations, and also the legal implications as well when you have a website, especially if you're in the EU or if you're marketing to people in the EU. So I think you can guess where that's going, GDPR. Yeah. Anyway.
This is video 3 in a 3-part series. So if you've not seen the other ones, we'll link them below. And also there's a PDF you can follow along just to make it a bit easier. Also linked below. Okay, so this is split into 2 sections. So we've got usability and then your responsibility. So we'll start off with the usability. So firstly, you want to make sure that your website is mobile responsive. So this probably seems really obvious if you're just building a website, but a lot of people who have older websites might not realize that it's not mobile responsive. So just make sure you're checking it on different devices and different browsers as well. So not just Chrome, not just Safari. Make sure you're making sure everything works as it should across different devices and platforms, or even just scale your browser down to like a narrower size so you can get an idea of, is the text going off the screen? Are images looking weird, or is it doing weird stuff that it shouldn't be doing?
So point 2 on usability is buttons and links, and making sure that they all do what they should do and that they all work. And this might seem like it's completely obvious and everything's going to be fine, but there are a number of websites I've been on where there's buttons that aren't correctly linked up, or they go to a page that doesn't exist anymore and you get a 404 error. It really breaks the user experience. So you want to make sure that all the buttons go where they should go, and also you don't end up on a page and there's no easy way to get back to where you were or to navigate around the website. So that's really important.
Yeah, and also something that's often missed is your social media link. So if you have at one point changed your username on like Instagram or something to something maybe more appropriate, if you've pivoted your business or just changed your name, a lot of the time it's going to break those links. So you need to make sure that if you've got social media links in your footer or somewhere on your website, that it still actually goes to the same place. Yeah. Okay, so point 3 is just making sure your website is fast enough. So really take a critical look at it and be quite harsh. If your website, if someone clicks on something, it takes more than about 3 seconds to load, they've probably already closed the tab or got bored, gone somewhere else. It's just good to remember that people have quite a short attention span with these things and they'll get frustrated. Even if you've got like a loading circle or something to show that your website's reacting and it's not just broken and frozen.
Yeah, and I think obviously your internet connection is going to depend on how fast websites will load. So a good thing to do would be compare it to websites that you know will likely be fast. So that could be big companies like Google or Sony, or if you want to visit another website. If those websites are all loading fast and yours is loading slowly, then that's probably an indication there's something wrong. So the next section is legal responsibilities, and the first one is probably the biggest one, and that's GDPR compliance. So even if you're not in Europe, if you're in the US, but your website is going to appear to European audiences, then you still need to comply with the GDPR. So there's a few points here. It's a huge topic and you really should do your own research on it. But the basics are the user needs to be notified of any cookies you're using on the website, and they need to know what they do, and they need to be notified of this before they're taken into the website, or before the cookies are placed on their device even. The second point is if you have a contact form on your website and you're planning to put together a mailing list, for example, with information collected from customers, then you need to have an active opt-in for this. So you can't just have them opt out later. There has to be a tick box there to say what they're subscribing for, and it has to actually describe what you're going to be doing with their information, like what emails they're likely to receive, if it's going to be marketing or what it's going to be.
Yeah, and that can't be pre-checked. They have to actively check it as well.
Yeah.
Point 2 is policies and statements. So you should have your cookie policy on there, your privacy policy, and if you're selling online, you should have a consumer information policy. So like what your returns and delivery are and stuff like that.
So point 3 is the company identity, and this will probably vary depending on your location. but you do need to have some essential information about your company, the full trading name of the business, the place of registration, the company number, sometimes even the VAT number if you're VAT registered. All this information needs to be displayed, and the best place to put this obviously is the footer, and just have all that information available for users.
Point number 4 is accessibility. So you need to make sure that your website is usable for all users. There's web content accessibility guidelines on these that you really should comply to. So you can test your website at webaccessibility.com, and there are loads of other resources that we'll link below that you can go on and make sure you're ticking off the accessibility boxes. Point number 5 is you need to respect copyright. So if you're using stock images or any images, artwork, or even just the text content, make sure you're actually allowed to use that content, and if you are allowed to use it, that you're giving the appropriate credit where it's required. Don't steal art. You wouldn't steal a handbag.
So the last point, number 6, is an SSL certificate. And these aren't actually required, but it's definitely going to help your website rank, first of all, because Google will ranks websites higher that have an SSL certificate. It's also going to give customers that level of trust, especially if they are putting information in, and then it's verging on essential if you are selling, which is if you're selling a product and you're going to have to take payment information, then you definitely want to have an SSL certificate on the website. And yeah, I mean, overall, it helps with the trust with the customer, which is probably the biggest thing, because they see the security there. They're going to trust the website much more. So we've just quickly gone through all the points there. You can see all the detail which is included on the PDF, which we will link down below, and you can perform this check on your own website. And also, we already mentioned, obviously, it's a 3-part series, so there's part 1 and 2 that are all in the same document, so you can go through those videos as well. So that's been it. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content from us, please subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when our new videos come out. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.